So I'm part of a team that is working on a graphic book, so it's kind of using the comics form to communicate about a really important kind of political and economic victory, and that was the victory of the Dita workers to preserve their factory and to reopen it. And so we came to present how we're using the form of the graphic novel to tell that story and to hopefully reach new audiences who would not normally look at a book that would be more kind of typically academic or historical or something like that. So my impression is that the students were actually quite interested and I don't think many of them, which is not surprising even in Canada, the idea that a graphic novel or a graphic book would be used for political or even academic or the purposes of communicating research is also new. So I think they had never thought about that before and were attracted to the idea, particularly I think because it's a different form of communication that can reach a different audience.
So what did we all learn through these 4 days? Did we learn anything?
What did we learn? I do think we learned a lot. Of course, my impression was that a lot of the students learned a variety of things, right? So I think some of them learned facts that they didn't know, just literally, I did not know this existed or this happened in Bosnia or in Tuzla or in Mostar. But I do think also that what was learned was a kind of a critical way to think about how you communicate and how the form of communication, a film, a meme, a graphic novel, can lend itself to something more than just communicating research. It can lend itself to new forms of action and new forms of relationships. And I think, to me, that's my own personal interest, but I think that was also one of the takeaways from the event, was that there are kind of different ways to connect with people, to form relationships, and then to use those relationships for new kinds of action. What could be made together? I think a lot of things. That was one of my impressions at the end. The large discussion was really this question, what can we do together? And I think there were a lot of good ideas, and it can be everything from a campaign to bring awareness, but also to animate people, not only to learn about something, but then to act. And it did strike me that probably one of this kind of the central question around which so much else was circling was really the environment or ecology, because it's there that you see, the kind of work and the quality of life and public transportation and the future of the health of the population. And it's something that literally affects every single person. And I think there was some excitement around the way in which that could be an opening for various kinds of campaigns and actions and communication. And I think above all else, creativity. That this work also can be, I don't know, it sounds a little bit strange to say, but that there's joy in working together and pleasure in working together and being creative and productive, even if the thing that you're talking about is this totally scary potential future.